Alright, so, back at it again with another comic review, and this time around we're going to be talking about Flash Gordon, Escape from Planet Death. This is the next big relaunch of Flash Gordon from Mad Cave Studios, which I have, I've done reviews so far for Mad Cave Books from an original comic called You've Been Cancelled, which is a really cool satire. It was a fun satire comic. I have been enjoying, for the most part, IP books. Namely, Gotcha-Man was okay. I want to give it a second volume to see if I like it or not, because the first one, it's okay, it just didn't hook me. And Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy, I think, was pretty solid as well. I really like their Dick Tracy relaunch. So what did I think of Flash Gordon? Flash Gordon is a classic character from Kingfisher Comics. It is a character who basically has been around for a long time. And of course, you can't forget Flash! Master of the Impossible. I'm sorry. Of course, we have to remember the movie. So this comic also got me interested because a writer I'm really starting to enjoy, like another up-and-coming writer in the industry, I'm really starting to enjoy, Jeremy Adams. He's been doing a lot of work for DC. He did probably one of my favorite recent runs on The Flash. He's been doing solid on Green Lantern, and he's now going to be writing Aquaman. So I think one of the things that really gravitated, I was like, alright, Jeremy Adams, alright, on Flash Gordon, that's kind of perfect. Jeremy Adams was a cartoon writer, and Flash Gordon has always lent himself to cartoon elements, so it really does make sense to have him on board for this project. So, yeah, let's get into it. So the comic actually starts on a free comic book day issue, where in here, what has happened is that Ming the Merciless, Emperor Ming, has basically created a thing called the Unraveler, which will destroy Earth. Flash destroys the weapon, but here's what happens. Ming's homeworld, Mongo, is destroyed in the process. And Flash wakes up like several years later as prisoner, and now woken up in a broken world and a whole galaxy that basically doesn't like him, because Flash Gordon, in order to save the Earth, had to destroy a planet, which the Ming's machine caused the destruction of several other worlds around him. It's very similar to what's going on in Adams' Green Lantern run, where in there, Hal made a decision and it got some people killed. Anyway, so I really do like that, and again, he was kind of perfect to do Flash Gordon. Anyway, so Flash now has to work with a scientist who's trying to help Flash's girlfriend, who's now Empress. She's now known as Empress Arden, and what Flash doesn't know is that she's out to kill him. We don't know why, but now she's Empress, she's gonna kill him, and there's now a coalition of planets, and on top of that, Flash also has to team up with Ming now. You know, Ming's no longer the Emperor. He's been dethroned. He is now a prisoner like Flash, and now the two of them have to make an uneasy alliance. I really like this comic. I really do. I really enjoyed how fast-paced this is. This really gives a lot of, like, great kinetic energy, especially in the fights. I also enjoy... there's some solid references to classic Flash Gordon, and they do something. It's a different take, but it's not like an edgelord take either. I know it sounds very Mad Maxy, but honestly, this is a take that is that feels plausible. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like a plausible entrance into this universe, and that's what I really like about it. Is that this feels like a natural storyline, if anything. I also really enjoy the fact that, I've really enjoyed the fact that this universe has evolved in a different way without Ming or Flash, and it almost feels like this universe is trying to, like, rebel against those ideas, if that made any sense. I don't think it did. I also really like the quick origin story we get from Ming the Merciless, and also... we go back to classic, like, Green Ming. And for some reason or another, in my head, I usually like to think of, like, comic book voices to these comic books. And Ming's this version of Ming, for some reason, I just thought of Steve Blum doing his Starscream voice for Ming. Like, it really fit. I also really like what they did with Professor Zarkov. I'm not going to spoil what they did with him, but I thought it was pretty cool. And it leaves you with a lot of questions. This comic doesn't answer a lot of questions. All it does is kind of set up for, you know, bigger arcs. That's kind of what Adams does as a writer, is that he does a lot of... He engages you with a tantalizing story arc, tells you all these other things that's going on, and then builds on it like throughout the story, like episodes in a cartoon. So yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed this comic. I've always had a soft spot for Flash Gordon, and Jeremy Adams, I think, was a solid writer for this character. So yeah, I give this a solid read. If you are a casual fan or never even read Flash Gordon comics, I would say give this a shot. I think it's a breath of fresh air into the character. It honors what the character was all about in the past and brings stuff new to the future. So, Chris, thank you once again, brother, for this comic. And you guys tell me in the comments below if you've read this. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.